Cargo hold beds by the hour. The future of ultra-long-haul flights? The idea of beds in the cargo hold has been floating around for years, but has never come to anything concrete. Now, with ultra-long-haul flights on the rise, could this stimulate the idea once again? And if it did, could we see economy passengers paying by the hour to rent a lie-flat bed on long-haul flights? There have been a number of concepts in the past that have floated the idea of passengers occupying space in the cargo hold. Engineer Florian Barjot has been developing the Earth Bay concept since 2017. Airbus entered the Crystal Cabin Awards last year with its own lower deck PAX experience modules, and even Qantas was mulling cargo class for its Project Sunrise flights. However, to date, no such ideas have been brought to market. Ideas have been kicked around, and Airbus even claimed to have some interest from airlines for its cargo hold beds concept, and proclaimed that we'd start seeing them on commercial jets as soon as next year. However, no real progress has been made since then, but that could be all about to change. Speaking to Dr. Joe Leader, CEO of the Airline Passenger Experience Association, APEX, for our recent podcast, the topic of cargo hold accommodation was raised. Dr. Leader's take on it is that its day is coming. He said, "Surprisingly, because of the new ultra-long-range flying we're going to see, I think it's more realistic than it might have otherwise been. What we have to do, we have to have a flexible flight bay. So for example, making it so if you have cargo, you can use that space and it can be easily used, but making it also so that on ultra-long-range aircraft, when it cannot go to the maximum cargo capacity, it can be used for passengers. It would be a great use of space." It's an interesting thought, and one that bears thinking about, with airlines like Qantas making preparations for the longest flights the world has ever seen. While Singapore Airlines operates the current world's longest flight, it does so with a premium-heavy Airbus A350 and minimal cargo capacity, so that the A350-900 ULR can go the distance. It's likely Qantas will have to do something similar when it begins Sydney to London and New York non-stop flights, as the A350-1000 will need to be lightly loaded in order to make the trip. If a full cargo contingent is not possible, why wouldn't it use the space for something else? That raises the question of how airlines would therefore allocate and sell a sleeping space in the cargo hold. There clearly wouldn't be enough space to allow every passenger to have a bed, so who would get priority? Dr. Leader had some great insight on this, saying, "I believe passengers will be willing to pay to pretty much rent additional sleeping space on an hourly basis, so that's probably the most fair way to do things." Taking a Project Sunrise flight as an example, this could mean that passengers book themselves into an affordable economy seat, but that the cargo beds are for sale as an added extra during the flight. When Airbus touted the idea of a cargo hold bed, it said this could cost from as little as $600 per flight. Even if it was double that for the 20-plus hour trip, by breaking it down into hourly bookings, Qantas could make it more attractive and affordable for many more passengers to have a go. After 13 or 14 hours sitting in an economy seat, even $100 an hour could seem like a very attractive prospect. Dr. Leader said, "When passengers buy a ticket, they might want the lowest price economy, but if they're on the flight and want to purchase an hour or two of lie-flat sleeping, I will tell you, that's the one time customers will open their wallets and say, 'You know what? That's the best money I can spend today.'" The concept could be a win-win for everyone. The airline would get to monetize what's otherwise just empty space, and passengers could make a choice to get a couple of hours of decent rest if they wished. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the Simple Flying channel, and be sure to click the notification bell.